Brought to you by Penguin.
The Ascent of Money by Niall Ferguson, read by Gareth Armstrong. Bread, cash, dosh, dough, loot, lucre, moolah, readies, the wherewithal, call it what you like. Money matters. To Christians, the love of it is the root of all evil. To generals, it is the sinews of war. To revolutionaries, the shackles of labour. But what exactly is money? Is it a mountain of silver, as the Spanish conquistadors thought? Or will mere clay tablets and printed paper suffice? How did we come to live in a world where most money is invisible, little more than numbers on a computer screen? Where did money come from? And where did it all go? In 2007, the income of the average American, just under $34,000, went up by around 5%. But the cost of living rose by 3.5%. So in real terms, Mr. Average actually became just 1.5% better off. Now compare Mr. Average's situation with that of Lloyd Blankfein, Chief Executive Officer at Goldman Sachs, the investment bank. In 2007, he received $73.7 million in salary, bonus and stock awards, an increase of 25% on the previous year and roughly 2,000 times more than Joe Public earned. Yet Lloyd Blankfein was far from being the financial world's highest earner in 2007. Angelo R. Mozillo, of Countrywide Financial, was paid $102.8 million, and even that pales into insignificance alongside the vast sums earned by some hedge fund managers. The veteran speculator George Soros made $2.9 billion. Meanwhile, nearly 1 billion people around the world struggle to get by on just $1 a day. As it turned out, 2007 saw the start of the worst financial crisis the world has experienced since the Great Depression. In the space of a little more than a year, events occurred that made a mockery of the claim that the lavish compensation paid to financiers was justified by their exceptional skills, particularly in the realm of risk management. Are you angry that the world is so unfair, baffled by the yawning chasm between the haves and have-nots? You are not alone. Throughout the history of Western civilization, there has been a recurrent hostility to finance and financiers, rooted in the idea that those who make their living from lending money are somehow parasitical on the real economic activities of agriculture and manufacturing. Despite our deeply rooted prejudices against filthy lucre, however, money is the root of most progress. To adapt a phrase from Jacob Bronowski, whose marvellous television history of scientific progress I watched avidly as a schoolboy, the ascent of money has been essential to the ascent of man, an indispensable factor in man's advance from wretched subsistence to the giddy heights of material prosperity that so many people know today. The evolution of credit and debt was as important as any technological innovation in the rise of civilization. From ancient Babylon to present-day Hong Kong, banks and the bond market provided the material basis for the splendours of the Italian Renaissance. Corporate finance was the indispensable foundation of both the Dutch and British empires, just as the triumph of the United States in the 20th century was inseparable from advances in insurance, mortgage finance, and consumer credit. In 2006, $3.1 trillion changed hands every day on foreign exchange markets. Every month, $5.8 trillion changed hands on global stock markets. Every minute of every hour of every day of every week, someone, somewhere, was trading. And all the time, new financial life forms were evolving. Before the 1980s, leveraged buyouts, securitization, and derivatives were virtually unknown. New institutions, too, proliferated. The first hedge fund was set up in the 1940s, and as recently as 1990 there were just 610 of them. At the end of 2006, there were 9,462. Private equity partnerships also went forth and multiplied. Banks, meanwhile, set up a host of conduits and structured investment vehicles to keep potentially risky assets off their balance sheets. It was as if an entire shadow banking system had come into being. If the last 4 millennia had witnessed...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?